Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. I'm Uncle Lander and this is Mass Effect 1 Legendary Edition modded playthrough Vanguard Paragon Path. On the last episode we have managed to complete the second part of Noveria. We managed to sadly say goodbye to Matriarch Benezia. We've managed to free the Reckonite Queen and we have managed to level up quite a bit throughout this entire thing. I'm currently on level 38 with 385 points of health. My Vanguard build is ever so slightly different than your usual Vanguard build. Basically, I have decided to ignore pistols and shotguns and decided to use the assault rifles because I believe that might actually give me a more consistent DPS. So, the assault training is currently at 9 points, while technical armor throw, lift, warp barrier, assault rifles, nemesis, inspector is at 8. Charm is currently at 10, and I'm waiting, and I cannot wait for it to get leveled up even a little bit more so we can unlock every single of the conversation options for the Paragon pathing. But yeah, this is all when it comes to my current character build. For this episode, my objective is to have a conversation with everybody on the ship, especially with Liara, about the last about the last mission. So let's go and do that. Also, maybe before we're gonna start even having a conversation, this episode, like every single other, is being recorded live during my Twitch streams, twitch.tv/UncleLander. Come and say hi. I'm playing a variety of video games, and I'm having planned more marathons, more charity events, and more stuff in general. So, yeah, that's all there is to it. Joker.
Why am I glad to be off of Noveria? I don't know which was worse, the cold or the corporations. One will freeze your balls off, the other will sell them out from under you. With all due respect, Commander.
And that's it.
I have to go.
All right, see ya.
I should go. But yeah, Joker is not really gonna have that much to say, even after one of the more or less main objectives, sadly. Because every single time we're gonna try to talk with him, it's gonna be about his disease and whatnot.
Yes, Commander?
Carry on, Presley.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so Presley has nothing to say, and I'm fine with that. Okay, so nothing here. I'm also going through the ship just so I can basically check if there's any codex checks. Better to be safe than sorry. I'm avoiding talking to Caden Elenko because if you're gonna talk to him way too much, he is gonna be problematic. And by problematic, I mean the relationship with him, the romance with him is gonna be kind of forced. And I am not gonna lie, it is not what I want. My playthroughs of Mass Effect are gonna be romance-less, because I simply want to play it fair with TOS of both YouTube and Twitch. Better to be safe than sorry. But I'm gonna tell this much: if I would make a choice when it comes to romancing, Tally, only Tally exists and nobody else. When it comes to romances. Okay, so Liara, we're gonna have a little bit to talk with her. But thankfully, when it comes to Liara, you can actually friend zone her without any.
If you are here to talk about Benezia's death, you need not bother. She brought it upon herself.
Don't pretend it doesn't bother you. She was your mother.
She was. But she was not. I prefer to remember Benezia as she used to be, before she was corrupted by Sovereign's power.
The best of your mother lives on in you. Her determination, her intelligence, her strength.
That is kind of you to say. I appreciate your concern, but I am fine. Benezia chose her path, just as I have chosen mine. I am with you until the end, Shepard.
Okay, so Benezia and Sericulture, we already have done that. I would like to talk about her.
Tell me about yourself, Liara.
Me? I am afraid I am not very interesting, Commander. I spend most of my time on remote digs, unearthing mundane items buried in long-forgotten Prothean ruins.
Nerd! I should get that green screen sound effect. I actually have a few additional green screen sound effects that I need to apply to my stream deck that I haven't done yet, but I'm thinking about actually doing it today.
Sounds dangerous and lonely.
Sometimes I would run afoul of indigenous life forms or stumble across a small band of mercenaries or privateers, but I was always careful. Until the Geth followed me to Artemis Tau, I never found myself in any situation my biotics could not handle. As for the solitude, well, that is one aspect that most appealed to me. Sometimes I just need to get away from other people.
You don't like other people?
I suppose it comes from being a matriarch's daughter. People expected me to follow in Benezia's footsteps. They wanted me to become a leader of our people. Matriarchs guide their followers into the future. They seek the truth of what is yet to come. Maybe that's why I became so interested in the secrets of the past. It sounds so foolish when I say it out loud. It sounds like I became an archaeologist simply to spite Benezia.
All children rebel against their parents. It's a natural part of growing up.
Aha, you share the wisdom of the matriarch, Shepard. That is exactly what Benezia said when I told her of my decision. But there was more to it than that. I felt drawn to the past. The Protheans were these wondrous, mysterious figures. I wanted to know everything about them. That is why I find you so fascinating. You were marked by the beacon on Eden Prime. You were touched by working Prothean technology.
Sounds like you want to dissect me in a lab somewhere.
What? No, I did not mean to insinuate. I never meant to offend you, Shepard. I only meant that you would be an interesting specimen for an in-depth study. No, that's even worse.
That's a little corny, but honestly, it's actually good. It's actually pretty funny to look at this situation.
Calm down, Liara. I was only joking.
Joking? Oh, by the goddess, how could I be so dense? You must think I am a complete and utter fool.
No, I think you're a nerd.
Now you know why I prefer to spend my time in the field with data disks and computers. I always seem to say something embarrassing around other people.
Like a nerd.
Please, just pretend this conversation never happened.
It never happened. Bye.
I should go.
Goodbye, Shepard.
Bye, Felicia. Okay, let's go. So yeah, like I said, Caden, we are not gonna talk to him. He can stay over there and just gonna pretend that he doesn't exist. I think that is a good way to basically think about it. If there's one thing that I need to take a look at is if I have any medium armor. It's a Krogan, Turian medium armor. I have one medium armor, but it's weaker and it doesn't even have 2 slots. I'm so freaking screwed when it comes to the armors this playthrough. I swear to God, man. And I simply refuse to buy a new set of armor because to me it is more rewarding to find a piece of armor rather than just buy it, unless it's Colossus. When I see a Colossus in the shop, I'm buying it immediately because that thing drops very, very rarely. Okay, so let's go to the engineering first. We're gonna finish off talking with Rex over here. I don't think Adams is gonna have anything to say.
Something I can do for you,
Nope.
Commander.
Carry on.
Aye, aye, Commander.
Tally, I'm pretty sure that Tally is gonna have something to say about anything over here.
Shepard, I'm glad you're here.
And she's feeling way better than the last time.
Good to see you smiling again, so to speak.
I'm sleeping much better now. I guess I'm getting used to how quiet your ship is. I still think a lot about my pilgrimage, though. I know Theron's our top priority, but with all the worlds we go to, I was hoping to find something to bring back to the flotilla.
We've still got a long way to go. You'll find something to take back.
Yes, but it cannot just be some derelict ship my people can use for salvage. It has to be more than that. There's a lot expected of me.
What's so special about you?
It's my father. He's the senior member of the Admiralty Board. He's one of only 5 people who can overrule the decisions of the Conclave for the good of the migrant fleet. My father is responsible for the lives of 17 million people. Our entire race is in his hands, and I'm his only child.
So are you some kind of heir to the Quarian throne or something?
No, it doesn't work that way. My father's position isn't hereditary. I'll probably never serve on the Admiralty Board myself. Officially, I'm just the same as any other citizen. But it doesn't work that way in practice. People have always treated me differently because of who my father is.
You must get all kinds of special privileges.
I probably had it easier than most growing up, but it's not all good. People like my father have enemies, and they're not above using me to get to him.
It must be tough on you.
My people place a high value on family and ancestry. There's an unspoken expectation that I'll live up to my father's example. Everyone's waiting for me to do something great on my pilgrimage, something that will forever change our lives for the better. If I don't, it's like I failed, and that reflects badly on both me and my father.
The work you're doing here is more important than anything any Quarian's ever done before.
Yes, I know. But you have to understand Quarian culture. We're a very insular society. The events beyond the flotilla don't much matter to the average citizen. Our greatest dream is that one day we'll return to our homeworld and drive out the Geth. But even if we stop Saren, that's not going to happen. There's still millions of Geth behind the veil. Until they're gone, our exile will continue.
What would you need to bring back to make everyone happy?
Something that would help us better understand the Geth. They've changed significantly since the exile. They've continued to evolve. We've done our best to study them, but it's not easy. They're very reclusive. Until recently, they never went beyond the borders of the Veil. And all the Geth we run into now are under Saren's control. We'd need to find Geth operating on their own, independently. But I don't want this to get in the way of our mission, Shepard. First, we stop Saren. Then I'll worry about my own problems.
And that technically starts Tally's quest. She has a very small quest. Basically, at the further north of the galaxy, there are gonna be like 3 or 4 systems, which are gonna be Geth encampments. And those encampments, at a certain point of that encampment, you're basically gonna get some kind of form of a data, and we're gonna give that to Tally, and that's gonna wrap up her quest. Technically speaking, almost every single companion in this game has a quest attached to it. Rex has a quest, Garrus has his own personal quest, and Tally also has a personal quest. And I honestly believe that Tally's personal quest is gonna give me the most experience and the most loot.
I should go.
See you later.
I should go. I'm Commander Shepard, and I should go. I actually found a mug on eBay that actually says, I should go on it. I love it, man. It's a shame that not only it's all of those original mugs are like $50 a piece, it also costs additional like $30 to freaking ship them to my country. It sucks. But somebody on my throne wish list have decided to be like, hey, you see that mug for $70? Well, somebody have decided to be like, hey, have 23% of the fundraiser covered.
Looking for supplies?
I'm happy for that.
Let's see what you got.
Appreciate
You bet,
it.
Commander.
God knows if I'm ever gonna complete that specific thing. That's Chameleon Tool. That's not really gonna help me. Nothing of that is gonna help me.
Commander, good to see you.
You've been with C-Sec a while. Have you seen much action?
Well, not as much as you, but yeah, I've seen some interesting things.
I bet you have. Anything in particular that stands out?
I remember this Solarian geneticist I was sent to investigate. That case was a bit disturbing.
What happened? Why were you investigating him?
I was tasked with tracking black market trade on the Citadel. Most of it harmless, nothing I needed to pursue. But during the course of my investigation, I noticed an increase in the trade of body parts, organs mostly. We usually get a few of those, but not the numbers I was seeing. We weren't sure if there was a new black market lab or if some freak was harvesting organs from citizens.
You've seen this before on the Citadel?
Every so often, some lab sells unwanted parts through the black market, but they're not as bad as the cycles. I remember this one L-Corps diplomat we caught in my first year on the job. He was hacking people up and selling their organs. Had the station in a bit of a panic. But this case wasn't that clear-cut. Turns out there was more going on than we first realized.
So how did you figure out what was happening?
First, we got a hold of a sample and ran DNA tests. The weird thing was, the match led us to a Turian who was still alive and was very convinced he'd never lost his liver. After a bit of digging, I discovered this Turian worked briefly for Dr. Salion, the geneticist. So I went to his lab hoping to find evidence of cloned organ development, but there was nothing. No Salarian hearts, no Turian livers, not one Krogan testicle.
Testicles?
You're kidding, right? Why would anyone want Krogan testicles?
Some Krogan believe that testicle transplants can increase their virility, counteract the effects of the genophage. It doesn't work, but that doesn't stop them from buying. They'll pay up to 10,000 credits each. That's 40,000 for a full set. Somebody's making a killing out there.
That's quite a lot of freaking money, I'm not gonna lie.
What'd you do about the geneticist?
I brought in some of his employees for interrogation to see if I could get them to talk. While I was interviewing one of them, I came across something suspicious.
You mean threatening? Was that really necessary?
Maybe, maybe not. Either way, it paid off. One of my detainees started bleeding profusely during the interview. We offered to patch him up, and he got frantic, freaked out. I ordered a full exam to find out what was going on. Our medics found incisions all over his body, some of them fresh. That was our big break. These people weren't just Dr. Salion's employees. They were test tubes, walking, living test tubes.
He was growing parts inside these people?
Exactly. He cloned their organs right inside their own bodies. Then he harvested them and sold them off. Most of the victims were poor. He'd pay them each a small percentage of the sales, but only if the organs were good. Sometimes an organ wouldn't grow properly, so he'd just leave it in them. Most of them were a mess, but only on the inside, hidden so nobody could see it.
I hope he got what he deserved.
That's the worst part. We never caught him.
Why not? What the hell happened?
He ran, blew his lab, grabbed some of his employees, and headed for the nearest space dock. By the time I found out, his ship was already leaving. He threatened to kill his hostages if we tried to stop him.
But you went after him anyway, right?
I ordered Citadel Defense to shoot him down, but CSEC headquarters countermanded my order. They were worried about the hostages, worried about civilian casualties if the ship was destroyed so close to the Citadel. I told them those hostages were dead anyway. He just used them to make more organs, but they wouldn't listen.
To me, it is a reasonable concern. I mean, at that point you would lose more civilians they would actually save.
It's not worth the risk. You pursue the vessel and disable it. That's the best choice.
They sent the military after him, but he got away just the same. Yes, they did. I went to Palin and told him what I thought of him and his policies. He said if I didn't like it, I could quit. Well, I almost did. All they had to do was disable that ship, stop him from running. Maybe the hostages die, maybe they don't, but at least we stopped the bastard responsible for it all.
If you don't care about the fate of those hostages, then you're no better than he is. You're just a terrorist with a badge.
Yeah, maybe you're right. It doesn't make it any easier, but I see your point. Just wish I could have stopped him. That's all.
Do you have any idea what happened to Dr. Salion?
I sent out feelers from time to time, hoping to find something. I thought I'd found him a while back. He changed ships and changed his name to Dr. Hart, his idea of a joke, I guess. I told the military, but they weren't convinced it was him. I got the transponder frequency for his new ship, but I just can't get anyone to check it out.
Gimme. We're gonna do the quest for Garrus.
I'll check out the coordinates when I get a chance.
I was hoping you'd say that, but Commander, take me with you when you go. If it's Salion, I want to be there when you find him.
That could be arranged. And there goes our sacrificial lamb, and we are not gonna talk with her. Rex.
What do you want, Shepard?
Some personal inquiries, and maybe a little bit of a meme if it's gonna work this time.
Why did you become a mercenary?
Lots of reasons.
Such as?
Such as, I needed to get out of our system. I needed to eat. I needed to survive.
Why not stay and help your people?
I tried to help. That's why I had to leave.
What happened?
I was betrayed. I was head of a small tribe. We were trying to restore order after the war, but the other tribes were against us. They followed Jared, one of the few warlords who survived the war with the Turians. But he was old, and so were his ideas. He wanted to continue the war. He wanted us to fight. Turians, Solarians, each other. It didn't matter who, as long as we were fighting.
What did you want?
I just wanted Jared to shut up, to stop his ranting. I wanted him to stop leading the tribes astray. But he couldn't understand how much things had changed. We didn't have the numbers to go to war. Even if we did, the genophage made sure we couldn't replenish our numbers fast enough. I told them all to forget about war. We needed to focus on breeding, at least for one generation. And for a while, we were getting through. Some of the tribes started coming around.
I take it the warlord didn't appreciate that.
No, he didn't. He arranged a crush with the tribes, a meeting on neutral ground. He wanted to talk. We met at the Hollows, near the graves of our ancestors. The skulls of our dead laid bare to remind us where we come from, and where we all go. It's as sacred as any Krogan place can be. Violence is forbidden.
Sounds like a trap to me. You must have suspected as much.
I did. But when your father invites you to a crush, well, there are some laws that even we hold sacred.
Jared was your father?
He was, until that day. We talked, but we didn't get anywhere. When it was clear that I wouldn't join him, he gave the signal. His men leapt from the graves of our ancestors like Krogan undead. The few that were loyal to me died quickly. I escaped with my life, but not before I sank my dagger deep into my father's chest. That is why I left, and that's why I'll never go back.
I think we can dig a little bit more on his family now.
You must have family other than your father. Don't you miss them?
You trying to make me cry, Shepard? I've got some unfinished business with my family, but that's all.
I don't think that's really all.
What kind of business?
Before I left, I made an oath to my father's father. I swore to recover my family's battle armor. It was taken from him after the uprising.
What's so important about this armor?
It's a relic. Useless, really. But it was worn by 5 generations of my family before the war. It's rightfully mine. Originally, it was taken by the Turian military. We weren't allowed armor or weapons after the war. Now, it's in the hands of Ton Actus, a Turian scum who collects relics from the war. He's made millions selling Krogan artifacts that were stolen from my people. He's got several bases where he stores his goods, all fortified and guarded. I just don't know which base has my family's armor.
Just tell me where to start looking.
I'll upload the data to your nav system. But Commander, I want to be there when you find him.
And that's gonna happen.
So long, Rex.
Shepard.
Okay, please tell me that one of the updates have actually fixed the Shepard-Rex conversation.
Shepard.
Rex?
Shepard.
Rex?
Ah,
Rex?
and I thought it actually fixed.
Rex?
Nah, it's still on the third try. It actually skips.
Rex?
Yeah, it's a shame. For some reason, it skips Rex saying Shepard after some time. So, well, at least we got a little bit of that meme. Yeah, there's nobody else to talk to when it comes to the ship. So, we got a list of side quests to complete. We had a little bit of a conversation. Let me return to the Galactic Navigation. We have no codex entries on the ship. There's basically nothing for us to do. So, ladies and gentlemen, I think it would be a good time to make a hard save of the game. And basically, to wrap up this rather short and talkative episode of Mass Effect. People of Twitch, we are still continuing on with the stream. We are not stopping. But people of YouTube, this is the end of this episode. Hope you guys have enjoyed. If you did, consider subscribing. You're the best. Stop a like, leave a comment, all that good stuff. Links for my mod list as well as all my socials can be found in the description below and in the pinned comment down below. Once again, thank you guys very much for watching. I'll see you guys on the next one.